Giants GM Joe Shane said they're a quarterback away, and then they went out and they signed two quarterbacks in 4 days. Russell Wilson, as you guys know, now joins the Giants quarterback room. Well, our New York Post sports columnist Steve Serby has been all over the Giants quarterback situation, and he's on to get his thoughts on the signing. Serby, Giants country, let's ride. How you feeling about that?
Well, I don't know how fast they're going to ride or how well they're going to ride, but look, at least they filled the quarterback room with two veterans who know how this whole thing works. Uh, Russell Wilson can be functional. He's 36 years old. He'll be 37 around Thanksgiving next year. But his quote was when he was first signed by the Steelers is, "I know what winning looks like." Now, he was 6-1 in his first 7 games as a Steeler before he faded down the stretch and lost a wild card playoff game. But he gives the Giants stability. He can be a functional, competitive quarterback for a coach and a GM who are crying out for a functional, competitive quarterback, assuming he beats out Jameis Winston for the starting job, which, follow the money, 21 million, 10.5 guaranteed. He'll get the first crack at it. So he's not the quarterback that we remember from his Seattle Super Bowl days, but he can just throw the ball to Malik Neighbors and see where that gets you.
Malik Neighbors and Jalen Hyatt. And you know, I'm Jalen Hyatt, Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson. I feel as though a Jameis Winston and or a Russell Wilson can give them competent quarterback play that can really unlock these receivers. Last year, Wan'Dale Robinson had 93 catches, had a career year, but he only averaged 7.5 yards per catch. A lot of the times were because of the location or where the ball was thrown to where he wasn't able to catch and run. Darius Slayton has been through more quarterbacks than anyone else. I feel like any other receiver in the NFL, I feel like, and has been solid, still putting up 750 plus receiving yards per season. And then we obviously know what Malik Neighbors can offer. So I feel as though either one of these quarterbacks. Go ahead, Serby.
Now, don't forget that one of Russell Wilson's strengths is that moon ball that he throws, and that should benefit Darius Slayton, I would think.
Yeah. And there's a reason why he tweeted Giants country, let's ride. Can't believe I'm messing it up already. But yeah, I think the receivers are happy with both these quarterbacks being there. Now that they do have Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson in the quarterback room, what do you think they're going to do with the third overall pick?
Well, now they don't have to pick Shedeur Sanders if he's available at number 3. I would go with Abdul Carter and build that giant tradition of pass rushers. Remember the who doesn't remember Strahan and OC and Tuck and JPP and Kiwanuka? That's the way the Giants won back in the old days. Of course, LT prior to that. But they can draft Abdul Carter, who, if his foot checks out, is considered by many the best player in the draft. So you've got Abdul Carter, you've got Brian Burns, you've got Kayvon Thibodeau, you've got Dexter Lawrence. That's pretty impressive for Shane Bowen. And you've got some corners now and a safety in Javon Holland who can give them an extra split second to rush the passer. So, I'm bullish on Abdul Carter. And if Abdul Carter is not there, you can pick Travis Hunter and line him up as a receiver opposite Malik Neighbors. That would be certainly helpful for Russell Wilson and or Jameis Winston. And, of course, Travis Hunter can play a little bit at corner, too, with Mr. Adebo, the new free agent signing, and Tay Banks. So if they're not convicted on Shedeur Sanders, get Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter, preferably Abdul Carter, in my view, and then either use that 34th pick to trade back into the first round for either Jackson Dart or Tyler Shuck, or if they're lucky, one of those two falls to them at 34, and they pick him as their quarterback of the future. Or see what this does, what Russell Wilson's signing does, and Jameis Winston, it gives Shane and Dable, should they survive, the option to draft their quarterback of the future in 2026. And who knows, that could be someone named Arch Manning. I don't know if he's related to anybody that used to play for the Giants, but maybe that's a possibility too.
But my question, Serby, is how would that be a possibility, especially if Arch Manning would be one of the top quarterbacks in the draft? Let's say you get 6 to 8 wins out of a Russell Wilson or a Jameis Winston. That means they may not be here to draft Arch Manning off of a 6 to 8 win season. That's what I'm saying. So I'm with you on the Abdul Carter. Because one, like you said, Shane Bowen's defense isn't built to blitz. He had to blitz last season, especially at the beginning of the year, to get some pressure on the quarterback. You saw what they were able to do. Dexter Lawrence, an interior lineman, was leading or tied for the league in league in sacks. But what Abdul Carter does is it adds another pass rusher to the defensive line. You lost Azeez Ojulari to the Eagles, but it also breeds some competition between he and Kayvon Thibodeau. Because Kayvon, going into that 5th year, Giants have till May 1st to pick up that 5th-year option. But if you draft an Abdul Carter, then you see what you could really get out of the competition of both of those guys wanting to be the starter that lines up on the opposite side of a Brian Burns. And like you said, it helps when it comes to that secondary play. So I know I'm the wide receiver. Usually I side with everything's wide receiver, but I think Abdul Carter, for the now, with how this roster looks and has been somewhat constructed up to this point, I think that Abdul Carter would be the better player to draft at 3 if Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders have both been taken 1-2 already. But I want to get your thoughts on this, Serby, and see what you heard about this next question. Do you feel as though Cam Ward's pro day played into Joe Schoen adding Russell Wilson to the quarterback room? And I don't mean just Cam's on-field workout, but maybe some of the behind-the-scenes conversations he may have had with the Titans and Browns front office.
No, I think it was kind of etched in stone around the league, and Joe Schoen obviously knew it, that the Titans are going to pick Cam Ward at number 1. So the Giants would not have been able to trade up to from 3 to 1 for Cam Ward. Now maybe Joe Schoen has found out or learned that the Browns have every intention of picking Shedeur Sanders. So the signing of Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston protects the Giants from the possible reality that QBs Ward and Sanders go 1 and 2, and the Giants are forced to draft a generational talent like Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. And that's not such a bad thing. The Giants can certainly use a generational talent.
Do you feel as though they could trade back from 3, Serby?
Well, they could, but I wouldn't. Why blow the chance to get an Abdul Carter or a Travis Hunter? Those are the 2 best players in the draft. Don't get too cute. Just take one of those 2.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Steve Serby, thanks for joining us.